Which celebrity did you meet and found they were much kinder or ruder than you expected? Part 2. Brad Pitt is a top-notch guy in real life. I met him in Malta while he was filming Troy. I was guiding a group of students as a group leader on a holiday trip and we saw Pitt just walking out of a cafe. He took time to take lots of pictures with all the kids and was really nice to everyone. Among my group were a bunch of teenage girls who almost fainted. Hilarious day all around. I met Fred Armisen, who is objectively a massive dick. But he was nice to me. I mean, I expected Matthew McConaughey to be nice. But he was just so thoughtful and engaging. Truly a great experience meeting him. Kind, David Tennant. Rude, Ant and Dec. Nicer, John McEnroe. I worked security at the US Tennis Open this last year and we had to turn him away the first day because he didn't have the proper credentials. He was super cool about and came back about an hour later with them. Every day that he came in he made a point to joke around with us and even hang out for almost an hour one day. It was surprising to me because of his reputation as the bad boy of tennis. Ruder, sticking with tennis, was Serena Williams. Super stuck up and always annoyed that she had to go through security, in a don't you know who I am kind of way. Met Pete Rose when he was doing an autograph signing thing in Las Vegas. To get his autograph you had to buy an item at the vendor. He wouldn't or couldn't sign just anything you brought with you. We didn't have the money to buy any of the overpriced stuff there, but I went over when he wasn't busy to talk to him. He was very sweet and apologetic about his contract for signing and spent a long time chatting with me in between autographs. In the end I felt like it was much more real than Sign and Go would have been. Also I recall a comedian being impressed when he met Arnold Schwarzenegger. The man has a bodyguard who has to stop him from talking to a single fan for too long. Otherwise he would have never stopped on time for the rest of the fans to get their turn to speak to him. Imagine being so nice to your fans that you need someone to stop you. Prince Harry used to come to the coffee shop I worked at. When he was deployed to Afghanistan. He was okay. Our shop used to be one of the only few places people could go to chill/hang out on base. So we would get a lot of tips from customers. But I think the most Harry left was few PS. It was still appreciated though, smiley face. Michael Bublé, super lovely. Genuine family guy. Met him through a prior employment and he couldn't have been more down to earth. Had some funny chats with him. Milo Ventimiglia, again met him through a prior employment and also super nice. We emailed back and forward for a bit, work stuff, and he was always so nice to talk to. Seth Rogen. Kinder. I saw him at a movie premiere and said, "Oh my god. It's Seth Rogen." He looked at me and said, "Oh my god." In the same excited tone. Danielle Steele was pretty horrible to my sister when she dated her son. Aside from the phony stuff at first. When she was past the pleasantries she was terrible to her. I met Penn and Teller in NYC when they did some NYC shows one year. They had a meet and greet and I got to meet both of them. I was kinda starstruck because I was a big fan. But they were super cool about it. And it was really weird for Teller to talk to me. Also, Teller isn't short. Penn is just fucking huge. Michael Sheen, he does a lot of charity work for our shared hometown. I had no idea just how well known he was as a kid. Years ago he spent a night bowling with our youth club. It's been a decade and I'm still blown away by how caring and genuine he was. He's always doing something wonderful for the people in South Wales. And every time I hear about what he's up to I still can't believe my luck that I met him. He's the best of the Welsh. I was pulling weeds at the Sheraton Harbour Island Hotel and Jimmy Stewart walks by. They were filming one of the airport movies underwater scenes at North Island Naval Base nearby. I knew he was a colonel in the Army Reserve. So I said, "Howdy, Colonel." He said, "Well, howdy son." We started talking. He lost track of the time. And they had to send someone to get him. He was the same in person as in the movies. To this day. One of my favorite movies is Harvey. With the 6-foot rabbit/puka. Rip Mr. Stewart. And thank you. Not really kind or rude. But I was in line for Ron Perlman's autograph and I heard him tell his staff at least 3 times that he had to pee. They kept encouraging him to keep signing and getting the fans out of the venue. And he just kept on until the distress on his face was visible. He finally just said fuck it and started walking to the bathroom. I just happened to be in his way and one of his handlers tried to get him to come back when he just snapped and said loudly, "I have to piss," simultaneously pulling away from his handlers and shoving me out of the way. I got hit by Hellboy. Not even mad. Brie Larson. I met her at Ace Midwest in 2019, the first convention she'd ever done. I stroll up to the booth to get a photo taken with her, carrying a cosmic cube prop. I asked her to hold it. She did. And we took the photo. As I was leaving, she looked at the camera guy and said, "Wait. I have an idea. Can we take that again?" Worth noting that photos with her were something like $200 a pop and you almost never get a retake unless it's really bad. So for her to ask for a second photo was pretty incredible. Anyway, we take the second photo. This time with her tossing the cube into the air. It came out awesome. And is still one of my favorite photo op pictures. I showed it to her later while getting her autograph. And she gushed over it for a bit. I get that it's at a con. But she was genuinely nice. Really does love her fans. And came across much warmer than I expected. Used to work at the best restaurant in New Orleans during the movie boom. Nicest ever were Jessica Lange and Kathy Bates, who often dined together. Spent tons of money and tipped like 50%. And unexpectedly, Channing Tatum, who was so effortlessly and genuinely nice, handed out $100 bills to everyone at the end of the night. And remembered my name the next time he came in. Shittiest were Samuel L. Jackson, just an asshole. Emma Thompson and Jeremy Irons, tipped 5%. Marky Mark, wouldn't even acknowledge me and ordered via his manager who immediately repeated what Mark had just said. And Nick Cage, drunken prick who we kicked out more than once. I met Renee Zellweger and she was so much kinder than I ever could have imagined. This was when Hurricane Harvey hit Texas. I was working at Austin Pets Alive and we took in thousands of animals from hard-hit areas. It was insane. One day Renee Zellweger just showed up to volunteer. No warning. No fanfare. In fact, the only reason I noticed her is that she was wearing long sleeves and long pants and it was August in Texas. She spent a week volunteering. She did laundry, cleaned out poop-covered crates, and drove vans of dogs from Houston to Austin. Not a pleasant job with the smell and the barking. I hope this doesn't get buried because she was truly amazing. So nice and hard-working. The laundry room was next to my office so we became friendly over the week she was there. There are multiple news articles about this so it's legit. Forever a fan. I met Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow in a cafe in London. I had just bought my wife some jewelry and was looking at when the lady I was sat next to said, "Oh, that is so sweet. Please may I take a peek?" And I said sure, and there they were. Sweet and often and just a great couple to chat with about family and Christmas for 15 minutes. I worked in the music industry for a few years, doing promotions and whatnot. Mostly handled metal/rock bands. But I got to meet a lot of musicians as a result. Biggest asshole, Rod Stewart. The guy is a miserable fucking twat. I literally cannot find a single good word to say about the guy. Machine Gun Kelly comes in at a close second. Maybe he's changed. But I doubt it. He was an arrogant fucking punk that truly believes he's the best thing since sliced bread. I find it amusing that he's dating Megan Fox and that Travis Barker is playing drums for him lately. It's a match made in heaven for assholes. Outside of music, Danica Patrick is a complete bitch. After my stint in music, I became a firefighter, and I had the amazing privilege of working pit row at the Honda Indy in Toronto. The team I was with was covering the first 4 pit stops, which included Indy legends Dario Franchitta and Will Power. Danica walked by and someone in the crowd said, "There's Danica." And I said, "Where?" Turns out she was right in front of me, but she's literally 5 feet 1 inch and was surrounded by a huge entourage. She whipped around and gave me the nastiest look ever, and one of her goons tried to tell me off about disrespecting her. I laughed at her and the goon, and the proceeded to make fun of her all weekend as a result. But, excluding my interaction with her, she also wouldn't sign autographs for the fans or anything. In comparison, Most other drivers there would have to be pulled back to their trailers by their crew because they'd have stayed all day. Ashley Judd, who was married to Dario Franchitta, was amazing though. There was a nurse on the team with us. And Ashley walked right up to her. Gave her a huge hug. "How are you doing?" And introduced herself to the rest of us. Turns out the previous year, she had gotten something in her eye and the nurse treated her. She also took me over to Dario after the race to get him to autograph my pit pass. Super sweet person she is. And honestly, 99% of celebrities are awesome people, but they do get tired being fawned over by fans though. I've found if you treat them nicely, they're more than happy to interact with you. So, don't go screaming their name at them while they're on the phone or something. Trust me, they're fully aware that you know who they are. Haven't had many rude experiences. But I can definitely attest that Michael Fassbender was a kind man who acted more excited to meet me than I was to meet him. Very satisfied by that experience. Jack McBrayer is as genuinely nice as the characters that he portrays. He's definitely not naive like those characters. However, you couldn't meet a nicer guy. I saw Gloria Gaynor at a high-end mall shoe store in Atlanta in the late 90s. A local radio DJ saw me watching Gloria and said that she, the DJ, was a big fan. "Go ask for an autograph." I encouraged her. She walked into the store, had a couple words with Gloria, and then came back out. She declined an autograph, the DJ said disappointedly. I get it that it might get old to interact with fans, but it still seemed like a dick move by Gloria. Thanks for watching.